Hello, friends, and welcome to our Sunday streaming services. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to get notifications when we have new videos. If you're with us on Zoom, drop a hello in the chat. We would love to say hi back to you. And if this is your first time here, go to oakcliffuu.org/guest to sign our guest book. Today's sermon, Creation, Created, Creators, with Paul Fucile. Let's talk reopening, all right? We still have our fingers crossed for September 26th in gathering, though the final decision won't be made until the final board meeting before that event, which is September 19th. So keep an eye out. Things change quickly. Let's hope to get out of the red before then. As part of the planning, though, because it has to be outdoors, it will be outdoors for safety reasons. You know, weather, it's September, it's Texas, you never know. So if you have any canopies or, you know, tops that you can contribute to the event, or chairs or benches, you know, because people like sitting. If you have any of those to contribute, please let us know. We could use that help. Thank you so much. And just as another note, even though it will be outdoors, if we hold it, masks will still be required. Not everybody in our community is eligible for vaccines right now, especially children. So masks will be required even at our outdoor event. We just want to make sure that everybody is kept very safe. All right. Yes, Scott, let's check in on this week's repairs. Show us the doors. Awesome. Oh my gosh. So apparently, stripping and sanding metal doors is actually very tedious and time consuming and difficult. So huge thank you to, let's see, Kenneth, Kathy, Rita, Sherry, and Jocelyn for putting all that hard work in and getting these doors ready for their brand new paint job. I am so excited. I love all the colorful additions we have coming to our church. So yeah, exciting. Ooh, speaking of exciting new things, Alex Kennedy is doing an exciting new thing. Starting this Tuesday, Alex will be hosting a social meeting on Discord, or social hour on Discord, Tuesday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. If you are interested, the 7 to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays is flexible. So if that's not a time that you can make it, but you're really excited about joining Alex and others on Discord, let us know, and there's some wiggle room there. But be prepared to join that. It should be so much fun. All right. As a note for next week, be sure to be here, usual bat time, usual bat channel, for next week's service, which is UUCOC President. That's free. So make sure to be here for that and hear about all the great stuff that we've been doing and all of the challenges that we've had over the past year. All right, as always, please check the e-blast for all of your UUCOC information. It comes out once a week in your email. It has updates, meetings, events, pretty much everything. It has a nice long written statement from the president, our president, not the president, about all the goings on in the past week. And it is busy. So you can see all the wonderful things that are getting done every week, all the updates, all the COVID updates, all the repairs updates, and just everything else. Little updates about our ministry search, things like that. It's on there every week. It's a quick read. You can get through the e-blast in, 2 minutes if you want to read everything. So if you are not subscribed to that, go to our website and sign up, or click on the link that Scott has here, not sure where he's going to put it, and sign up. If you are signed up, go read it. Lots of fun stuff there. All right, it is Sunday, and so at 11:15 we have Talkback. Please consider joining us for Talkback if you never had. It's a chance to join in community and talk about the sermon topic or whatever else is going on. You don't have to talk. You can get a lot out of it by listening, but if you've got something to add, we would love to hear that too. It's really fun. Join us. We also have Adult RE at 1 o'clock. And in addition to Alex's social hour on Tuesdays on Discord, we also have a UUCOC Zoom social hour on Fridays at 9 o'clock. Lots of fun stuff. All right, y'all, here we go. Member anniversaries. We have so many great ones. That's right, several great member anniversaries. So get ready, get your hands ready, clapping, whatever. Do it. It's exciting. Number one, we have Emily Glenn. Yes, Emily Glenn. Happy UUCOC anniversary. We are so happy to have you. We also have UUCOC VP, Renee Brill. Yes, Renee. See, got exciting. All right, we've got one more, and this is what makes this one so exciting. Celebrating 20 years at UUCOC anniversary. Happy anniversary to my stepdad, guitar player extraordinaire, Steve Leach. Oh, I should have gotten the dancing llama for Steve, right? Or Renee, or Emily. Dancing llama works for everybody. I think the batteries are dead, though. Anyway, that is just such a fun way to start our Sunday and to start our week. Happy anniversary to all three of you, and to everybody else and you three. Happy Sunday.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliffs online worship services. Thank you for having the curiosity and the courage to join with us this morning. We welcome you, whoever you are, whatever spiritual tradition, gender, age, race, sexual orientation, or background you bring to our community. Know that you are worthy and that you are valued. We hope that you will find here comfort, connection, challenge, respect, and above all else, love.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of love, compassion, and forgiveness.
Que esta luz que ahora encendemos nos inspire a usar nuestros dones y poderes para sanar y no para herir, para ayudar y no para impedir, para bendecir y no para maldecir, para servirte a ti, espíritu de amor, compasión y perdón.
Let us sing a song to the eternal by Eric Williams. Call to sing joyfully to fulfill our role as part of creation. Let us sing a song to the eternal. Let the earth and her children break forth in song. Let the sky and its creatures in chorus reply. Let the sea and all that is within it sound out praise. Let the storms raise their voices, the rivers clap their hands, and the mountains echo a verse from their rocky peaks. May we who are gathered here this morning sing with great rejoicing so that we can fulfill our part in the great choir of all creation.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love that rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love that rose in the winter time. rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.
Please join me in affirming our covenant to one another. Because we love one another, we honor each individual's spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance and service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus do we covenant together.
And now in Spanish. Porque nos amamos uno al otro, honoramos el viaje espiritual de cada individuo. Celebramos la abundancia de la vida en el servicio a entre sí, nuestra comunidad y el mundo. Ponemos en contacto a unos con otros en el amor, respeto y acepción, así que hacemos pacto.
We share our sorrow with one another, believing that a sorrow shared is a sorrow halved. Today, we also hold in our hearts the shared grief of our hurting planet. At this time, we invite you to publicly post your sorrows and prayer requests to our Zoom chat or send those to our Facebook Messenger.
When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love.
We also share our joys with one another, believing that a shared joy is a joy doubled. Today, we take special time to celebrate our connection to all life everywhere. Please share your joys publicly in the Zoom chat or send those to our Facebook Messenger or speak those aloud.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirs of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. to me, come to me.
Hi all, Paul Fucile here. Today's message, creation created creators. In the beginning. One way or another, or should I say one language or another, most creation accounts begin with this premise, in the beginning. There really are some fantastical stories. Our creation accounts, our creation stories are fantastical. Like the beginning of Genesis. In the Bible, God is like a supernatural musician and brings forth the heavens and the earth by just dividing space. In the Hindu tradition, there are 3 creation stories. My favorite is the one of Vishnu. Vishnu births a lotus flower out of his belly button, and then he divides it into 3 parts. He has the heavens, the sky, and the earth. In the Norse tradition, you have Ymir, the void before creation. Ymir is the void. He fed on the udder of Adumala, a primal cow formed from dripping ice, and then asexually produces 3 other giants, 2 from the sweat of his armpits and 1 from his leg. From here, the story gets a little bit hairy for me. So the Hopi creation story begins with Taioa, who then creates Sotunag. Sotunag is then given the responsibility of creating 9 universes and the earth within it. Sotunag also creates the Spider Woman. The Spider Woman's sole responsibility is to create humanity, and she does so by mixing her saliva with the dirt from the newly formed earth. Whichever one of these accounts speaks nearest and dearest to your heart, let that feeling not be tarnished by the fact that they all are, in essence, allegorical stories. Stories that tell us something by telling us something else. In the beginning, there's creation. The stories begin with creation. There is no story, no stories, no story without the beginning, and the beginning is creation. In the Christian tradition, there's enormous emphasis placed on that it is created from nothing. Before it was the Christian tradition, though, it was the Judaic tradition. 1446, before the Common Era, so we're talking in BCE, so when time starts counting backwards, right? So still 1500 years, is the historically accepted date for the exodus of the Israelites out of Egypt. And this is where the Judaic tradition truly begins, because this is where the Israelites hear the voice of God. Now that's 1500 years before the birth of Jesus. This 1500 years is when the tradition of Midrash also begins. Midrash is the collection of stories from Judaic history that provides commentary and dialogue for what is now called biblical accounts. Now, there were formal gatherings to discuss Midrash, but nothing to the degree of the Council of Constantinople that would take place some 1700 years ago. So we're talking about guys meeting in a desert, because this is largely still a tribal and feudal society. Because again, we're talking before Common Era, so before AD. So it's important then that we have to be careful not to read history anachronistically. In other words, if we're reading a story about World War I, and a soldier is sending a message, just that simple task of a soldier sending a message. This message is not an email. It's not even a phone call or a voicemail. It might be a telegraph delivered from someone 100 miles away, but more than likely it's some sort of Morse code message that then has to have its dots deciphered. So anachronistically means that we're reading the present situation into historical accounts. So we have to remember to stay in that place of history. So let's back up a little bit. In the Christian tradition, there's enormous emphasis placed on creation coming from nothing. Now, I don't know about you, but my critical analysis brain goes, well, of course they were. What better way to establish divine supremacy and thus sociocultural dominance in? And then I just got to stop myself. Now, I have to stop right there, because then it just goes down this rabbit hole of just not critical thinking, but criticism. It's one thing to think critically. It's another thing to just critically obsess. Let's put it that way. So I have to stop myself at that point, because that would be reading history anachronistically. So let's actually really back up a little bit. The Genesis story of the Jews, which is where the story originates with the Jews, was told and retold throughout the 40 years of the first Jewish diaspora, as they wandered the desert of the Middle East after leaving the exodus of Egypt. It is a story of the people that had no nation, that were then captured and traded like pawns, much like we think of slaves 250 years ago. But again, this is 3,500 years ago. It's 3,500 years ago. My math is right. So the Genesis story is a freed slave story told and retold to reinforce the people's ultimate connection to the divine, to justify their freedom from servitude, and to give them hope for the next step forward. There's no Machiavellian plot here, only a people searching for an identity as a people, as a community that fostered a belief of their right to life. You say, but Paul, we're discussing the Christian tradition here. Now be careful, that's another critical thought. But because it gets to my point, let's go on with that. Because the truth is when we look at the early church tradition, as we call it, we get much of the same thing. A people displaced from their homes and their realities, but this time due to the colonization of the Middle East by the Roman Empire. A diasporic people were early Christians. Many of them were Jews. Many of them were pagans. They weren't called Christians even remotely yet. Many of them were pagans, and pagan was the new Israelite. So the Israelite didn't speak to any one nationhood or people from a specific nation, and pagan in the first century had a very similar meaning. If you had no specific connection to a land, to a people, or something like that, you were often designated as pagan. So the pagans were the new Israelites. And the pagans and many of the Jews were searching for community in the time of colonization. But more importantly, they were searching for the right to life, and a justified life, and a dignified life. Am I defending Judaism or Christianity as religions, as institutions? No, because defensiveness comes from a place of criticism. See, so it's easy to slip into the place of criticism and consequently confirmation bias. After all, confirmation bias validates and justifies the criticism. X causes this problem, and that's why it's wrong. It happens on both sides of the argument. One side takes all rights and the other side all lefts. Neither of them realize they're both turning circles, and often the same ones, just with new language and new scenery. So ask yourselves, like the early Christians and the early Jews, do you find yourself searching for community, a peoples and a place to feel at home with, and more importantly, searching for a right to life, a justified life, and a dignified life? See it as a trope as old as time. Why am I here? Where do I belong? What is my purpose? These are questions we begin asking ourselves as children until we've answered them, and rightly so. As the saying goes, the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you learn why. This is the condition of being created. As a part of creation, we are created beings. Whether we've come to realize it or not, we are innately endowed with the divine right to life. As well, whether you realize it or not, you've been born into a beloved community. Whether it took you 2, 10, 20, or 60 years to discover it, you were born into a beloved community. As a member of a beloved community, you have become a creator, with the capital C. Secret of change is not to focus your energy on tearing down the old, but on building up the new. Socrates. Or is it Plato? I don't know. We might say here there's a fallacy within the 2100-year-old saying, but let's watch our critical voices and turn to a red giant. No, not communist China. The star. The later stage of a star is called the red giant. As the star grows, nuclear fusion fuels the star, and its heavier elements start to fuse. When the star has outgrown itself, it commonly explodes into a supernova. Those beautiful hues of blue and orange and green, they're a dead star. From the supernova, neutron stars, black holes, and the very stardust that makes up you and I is given forth. Destruction of the old is an aspect of building the new. Building the new is the focus. Change that focuses on criticism and tearing down the old is destruction. Change that focuses on criticism and change that seeks the divine in others, that builds, that sees the impossible possible, this is creation, and we are creators. You and you and you over there are members of a beloved community. You are creators of this beloved community. You may ask, what is a beloved community? What does it mean? How is a beloved community? We'll be answering these questions in the coming weeks, but as you do answer those questions for yourself, ask yourself, are you approaching them as creators or from a critical voice? Thank you so much for having me. Have a great week.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let his dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place which is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and hope. For we are now the keepers of the dream. To make an offering or your pledge, please go to oakcliffuu.org/donate and follow the links.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy. Receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy.
Let us sing The Magic of Imagination by Susan L. Van Driesen. Let us sing the magic of imagination by which we know one another and learn the lives of eras gone by. Let us sing the magic of creation by which we build the world of our soul and teach its wisdom to others, young and old. Let us sing the magic of our lives together, holding and shaping by the movement of breath from heart to lung, all new life that is to come. Go now with singing. Go now with magic in your fingertips. Touch this world with life.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And now in Spanish. Encendimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevamos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.